Welcome to this week's Teacher Devotion. Today I want to talk about developing the art of forgiveness and restoration. In 2 Samuel 9, 8 and 11, Mephibosheth bowed down and said, What is your servant that you should notice a dead dog like me? So Mephibosheth ate at David's table like one of the king's sons. The Bible considered dogs unclean animals. In fact, the vilest of sinners were often referred to as dogs. Mephibosheth was King Saul's grandson. He was Jonathan's son, and Jonathan was David's best friend as he was a young man. When Saul's kingdom collapsed, a servant hid Mephibosheth to protect him from the enemies of his grandfather. Several years later, Mephibosheth was discovered and was brought to King David. Mephibosheth feared for his life because he was King Saul's grandson. He told David that he was a dead dog, dead because he was a useless cripple and he was unable to threaten David's kingdom. He called himself a dog because he was bowing to the lowest position possible to plead for his life. What Mephibosheth did not know was that David wanted to exalt and honor Mephibosheth for the love of his father, Jonathan. David exalted Mephibosheth and gave him a place in the palace, and he treated him like a king's son all the days of his life. This famous Bible story reminds me of God's eternal work of salvation for each of us. We come before Him with all of our impurities deserving of death. He not only pardons us from our destruction, but He also exalts us to a position of the King's Son. Let the truth of what Jesus did at the cross sink deep into your heart and minds. Jesus died on the cross, and He offered undeserved forgiveness to us while we were still in our sin. As we allow this truth of undeserved forgiveness to become a reality in our lives, we will be better equipped to forgive our students for their offenses even before they repent. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. David not only pardoned Mephibosheth, he also restored him to the position in the king's palace. When offenses occur in your classroom, correct, forgive, and then restore the student. Be Christ's hand extended and be an example of God's love and grace. Allow your students to know that everything is okay and you have totally forgiven them. Our prayer for this week is, Dear God, let this truth be a part of my daily life. I thank you for your forgiveness. Teach me to forgive and to restore my students, my parents, and my fellow co-workers. Thank you for joining me today. I pray that you have a blessed week. I invite you to check out my other devotions at teacherdevotion.com. Have a blessed week.